All right. And what is good? Good evening, you guys. Welcome. Okay, it's evening my way. How are you? I'm looking in the chat. I'm seeing Muffy. How are you, Muffy, darling? Okay. How are you? It's good to see that you dropped in. Thank you so much. And hello to those in the skybox. I have something that I would like to. Well, it's a few things I would like to address, and it kind of piggybacks on what I've been speaking about earlier. So it's connected, you guys. But this time, so like in my last address, my last live, I was saying like, hey, I searched for it and I couldn't find it, and I was complaining that it was over 2 hour live and I wasn't able to retrieve it. Well, I lifted it. I was able to retrieve it, and this time, okay, I took the time, and I swore that it wasn't towards the beginning. I assumed that it was in the middle and the end because that's where all of my red ball searching was. It was like towards the middle and the end. I just assumed that, but no, it was more. It wasn't the very beginning, but it's towards the beginning. It was like at the 28-minute mark, 29-minute mark. So that's what I'm going to go to. If you guys can give me a minute, okay, so we can actually listen to it and hear it ourselves, okay, devoid of the extras and the lies and stuff. I don't like stuff like that. But we could hear it ourselves and make and you could draw your own conclusion. That's the whole point. Um, and you can hear the comment that I made, which was a reply to me reading the chat. But you can hear it in its entirety, nothing left out, nothing added, no additives, because the additives and the preservatives always are going to be a problem for me. It's always problematic. Always, the truth is the only thing that matters. Those who truly know me know that about me. Yeah, so we're gonna look at that, okay? Where it's not molested, where it's not bastardized by just flawed thinking. And what term would I be looking for? Like vilifying, like dogma or language. Like rhetoric that vilifies. Because none of that was present in my speech, my audio, and my text. Okay, so we're gonna listen to that. Again, you have to know what your response and your reply to me was nothing more than an accusation. You've yet to present anything to back it up that I was being shady, Slappy, that I was being and I'll address Ken G later, but that I was being shady. Um, you you're nowhere warm. Like you presented nothing. Also, you actually parted your mouth and went on your live, and an additional lie that you told that I never spoke to in my other lives, my earlier lives, is that you said you told your audience that I attacked you. So we're gonna listen to this video, this audio. I didn't do any editing or shit like that, but I could reference you guys back to the you know the topic itself, the live itself. I wanted to say thread, you guys, but and it's called saying hello. It's 2 hours and 24 minutes. So I'm gonna go in right now. I said the 48-minute mark, and we're gonna listen to this shit. Okay, because the truth is the only thing that matters. This will be called the pudding. When people say the proof is in the pudding, this will be called the pudding. All right, let's get it. Did I say 58? Let's see. And I'm going to stop and make points in between. At some point, I could let it all flow and you guys listen to it unbroken, no doubt. As many times as you guys ask, that's as many times as you would get. Thank you so much for sharing, Muffy. I appreciate that. You said share. I hope you mean that you share my life. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I do. All right, let me come off of this shit. Come down, come down.
About the big marriage, and you see like all different types of his brain, like lighting up, like activity.
What did I say? What mark did I say? It's 48. 48. I'm searching for you guys.
Dude, like you know his mouth stink. You know what I mean?
Now I said towards the beginning, so it'll be 38 or 28. Let's get it. Come on, what's going on? All right, let's see.
Things that it's called intellectual here.
Right.
That really.
I'm thinking 28. So let's go to 28, you guys. Can't remember what I said.
Let me see.
All right, here it goes. Here it goes. So it was at the 28-minute mark. Okay. Not exactly at 28. So I'm at like 28:30. You know, 28 minutes, 30 seconds. So we'll take it from there. Let's get it. So you guys can listen to me being shady, trying to do some underhanded backstabbing, betrayal type shit that friends don't do. And also, you can listen to me attacking Slappy because Slappy definitely said during the live, like, can you believe that y'all attacked me? So please listen to this attack. You guys can give me your feelings, your own thoughts, okay, without being influenced. What is up, Corio Lover? I'm glad you stopped in. What is up, Laurie Sullivan? How are you? And what is up, Brown Beauty World? I just want to play this, okay? Give you guys a listen to it, okay? Because this is what I'm being accused of, and I'm glad I did lift the audio finally, so everything can be out and said. Everything needs to be in the open. All of it. No additives, no preservatives. Really.
Exposed. Lamellas too. Legs exposed. The fuck? Wait a minute, let me see. It reads, Slappy, I want you to stop supporting Stumpdale is not. Good for you. Which
Let me stop there. So that was the audio of me like laughing, and then I looked down and I said, "It reads," and then it said, "Slap down. I want you to stop supporting Stomp Down." And then there was an ending part, but as you guys can see, I didn't even read the ending part. It was in the chat. It came from a subscriber named Bubbles, but I didn't even read the ending part. As you guys can see, I was accused of reading it aloud, which I don't think is a foul. I don't think that's a foul or a violation. But as you can see, I didn't even read it in its entirety out loud. At some point, you can see that I became kind of uncomfortable with reading it aloud, and I began laughing. It was like nervous banter, like it was a nervous gesture, but I began laughing. So I didn't even read it off in its entirety. But I already I already highlighted what was said in my previous lives. The entire comment by Bubbles. Let's get it. And yeah, I know that Bubbles could be an S. Like me and Bubbles go back and forth all the time. So let's get it.
Slappy, I want you to stop supporting Stomp Down. It's not a good look for you. Which
So there you go. So I didn't even read this in its entirety. I began laughing the end part off, and I said, "Woo child." So here goes.
say that I don't disagree with the last part when it says it's not a good look for you. But the first part, I'm not going to say. I'm not going to take that position with Slappy or really anybody.
All right, let me go back. Let you guys see that again. And just put it in different words. Let's get it. Different words with exactness and meaning. I'm saying.
Part when it says it's not a good look for you. But the first part, I'm not going to say. I'm not going to.
Wait a minute. I need to take it back more. Folks.
I want you to stop supporting Stomp Down. It's not a good look for you. Which say that I don't disagree with the last part when it says it's not a good look for you. But
okay, so I put out there as a response to Bubbles, I'm not going to say that I disagree with the latter part where you say it's not a good look, and then I say but, and then I go on. So let me just take it back so you guys can hear it. Like this shit is self-explanatory.
To stop supporting Stomp Down is not a good look for you. Which say that I don't disagree with the last part when it says it's not a good look for you. But the first part, I'm not going to say. I'm not going to take that position. But the first part, so I made it clear that, but the first part, I'm not going to say. I'm not going to take a position on it. But let's hear it again. Disagree with the last part when it says it's not a good look for you. But the first part, I'm not going to say. I'm not going to take that position with Slappy or really anybody. I said I'm not going to take that position with a Slappy or with anybody. Okay, that's clear as day, and there's some emphasis behind that. Somehow they got lost in the retelling. This is what I'm telling you guys about these retelling. So this is the actual commentary or response. It really was my reply to Bubbles, but that's in question. Let's get it. When it says it's not a good look for you. But the first part, I'm not going to say. I'm not going to take that position with Slappy or really anybody. I resist that part. I resist taking a position. And what I was speaking about was the beginning part, that about the associations, that they should not maintain associations. I resist that. That's not my principle. That's not my message. It's not my ministry. I don't get on here doing that. That's me letting you know how I'm hardwired. But let's get it. But the first part, I'm not going to say. I'm not going to take that position with Slappy or really anybody. I resist that part. But Slappy do be kind of like championing, and then I'm like, okay, well you got it, you know. I'm like, that's yours to keep. But I mean, it's all good because you know how.
Wait a minute. So Slap, I'll go on to say, and but I have seen Slappy champion Stomp Down. In my earlier lives, if anybody needs an explanation of what it means to champion, just look up the definition of champion, and you will see it means to like argue in someone's likeness or to defend them. So that's what I'm stating. I've seen no lie detected yet. So that's what I said. Let me take it back so you guys can hear it.
Slappy do be kind of like championing, and then I'm like, okay, well you got it, you know. I'm like, that's yours to keep. But I mean, it's all good because. And I said, oh, you got it, that's yours to keep. Meaning, like the aspect of the whole association is not my business, and I'm not judging it. That, but in so many words, that was my way of saying I won't even go near judging it. The association part, I don't speak to that. Been here for years. Never spoke to it. Yeah, but some things I consider, yeah, like I have a like good optics, bad optics is a thing for me. And yeah, like I have thoughts on things that I see. And that, yeah, like that it pretty much in general, anyone that would like champion him would catch my eye. And I won't rush to do a live on it, okay, and publicize my thoughts on it. But if it ever came up, just as it did, like in a live or whatever, I would take the opportunity because I'm outspoken and I speak my mind. But I would take the opportunity to be like, oh yeah, and you know, like your association with New Mexico. Like I have feelings on that too. Like to me, it's very similar. Like in terms of like what I consider like deplorable people. Yeah, like that's around and what I would deem in regard to be bad optics. I never but I still dealt with the information and the idea. And I never personalized anything and passed a judgment on those people who choose it. And hey, you may not think it's bad optics. You may think that it's righteous. That's just where we would disagree, like where our views become divergent, like on it. And that's all I thought it would be. I thought that you would speak up. But I've still yet to come across shade, which denotes like ill intentions. Yeah, like I still didn't detect anything that looks like me trying to say it under the radar. You yeah, like you insinuated all of this shit. Like, oh, he tried to get that one past me. No, I didn't. I said it plainly. Like, and I'm very forthcoming. Like, so, like, I wasn't trying to like sneak anything past your eye. Like, I said it because I wanted you to hear it, and you were there. I said it only because you were there. And you mentioned that I attacked you. You actually came out your mouth and said that, and that's a whole lie. Because I just played it, and we didn't come across an attack. But let me take this back. But Slappy do be kind of like champion. But yeah, like at this part, at this juncture, you can see that I'm rejecting it and saying, okay, but that's you. Like in other words, it's not me. Okay, where's the shade and the attack? Where's the attack? And then I'm like, okay, well you got it. You know, I'm like, that's yours to keep. But I mean, it's all good because you know how people are going to end this. Everybody like who they like. This is called foresight. So I'm speaking to it then, knowing that you right there, that I was speaking to you in the chat, Slappy. I said, you know what people would say. That's foresight because it's an issue now. It's an issue. But I have some questions. You know, I'm like, that's yours to keep. But I mean, it's all good because you know how people are going to end this. Everybody like who they like, you know. So that's what I'm recognizing. And you heard me? I said, so that's what I'm recognizing. So that's what I'm acknowledging. That's the principle I'm operating on. So, like, for you to do a whole lot, I mean, that
all of that shit, like, it wasn't a match. It wasn't a match. Like, oh, like, you saying like, oh, I didn't know that I was in an alliance. Well, I didn't know that I was in one. I didn't know that I can't see that as bad optics. Like, concerning the example that I gave of an adult who drags other people. The dragging thing is more secondary, but it's what they're dragging them on. They're saying like, hey, I was an adult at the time that you was a child and being sexually molested. Like, so yeah, it's very much connected to my regard to children, and I don't do the fake shit. Like, to have that regard, you know what I mean? Like, I just make insightful decisions based on what people show me, but I'm not like out here creating fake petitions or nothing like that. Like for no children drag campaigns, but the whole idea of acknowledging and saying like, yeah, I was there, and I watched and I laughed. And what you're talking about, you watch and you laugh about, was sexual abuse as a child. Yeah. So no, like, so is there any way that I could tell you that I think that that is bad optics without you feeling that it was shade? Is my question. Is there any way possible that I could have shared that truth with you, that I find it problematic, without you taking it as shade and me attacking you? Because I don't think, in your mind, I'm not convinced that there is a way. You know, so yeah, I speak about those things. You know, I'm sorry you didn't pick that up before. Like, and I had thoughts about it too. You know, and it was kind of like senseless to bring Tracy up, because just recently you asked Tracy to support you. You know, and so you fuck with her like I do. And here's the difference is, you'll never see me deny the fact that I champion Tracy. I champion the fact that I champion Tracy. But what you won't do is see me champion everything that Tracy is said to have done. And I'm talking about a threat of doing something towards, I wouldn't even say it a child, but towards the likeness of a child. And I spoke against that. I don't feel like that's defensible. So I didn't defend it. I feel it's indefensible. I don't feel like you can possibly defend it. But it was not towards a child. It was towards an adult in the likeness of a child. Unless you think that children are a part of the B sector. Because the last I checked, this is a whole adult sector. And I know all my content is constructed and designed for adult ears. So that's all I assume. Also, I would like to add, if anyone is out there making threats in the likeness of a child, if you are the parent of that child, if you present that to your child, expose your child to what these adults in this sector say, or if you're a guardian, a legal guardian, and you do that to your children, that is abuse. You're now abusing your child. And I have feelings on that. I think that's bad optics. There's quite a few things I think is bad optics. I'm not going to be vilified because I have a standard, a personal standard, what I feel is bad optics and what I think is good optics, and for sharing it and being truthful and candid and outspoken about it, because that's all I did. That's the extent. Truthfully, that's the extent. And I did later on, when you let me know you had an issue with it, I did present reason. What I have not got from you is reason yet. You know, so like, I don't know if you want to have this discussion with me about like how my feelings on children's sexual abuse are irrational or unreasonable, okay, and ridiculous or outrageous. I don't know if you think you want to have that discussion with me, but I'm open to it. Yeah, like, and when you tell the truth, your shit never has to change. This is why, like, a lot of what I'm saying right now is really a repeat from the initial thing in which I just played. Like, when you tell the truth, you don't have to move on anything. Like, I have not swayed or wavered at all, because I was speaking from the heart. You know what I mean? I didn't know that you would be hurt and offended, and I didn't know that you would throw on the extras of telling the audience that I shaded you without backing up and supporting it reasonably with examples of the words I said to shade you or the actions I did to shade you. You have yet to present that. And I didn't know that you would tell them I attacked you where there was no attack. Where there was no attack at all. Let me look towards the chat. Sorry, you guys, wasn't trying to ignore you. You know, just trying to speak my mind. Okay. Welcome, Dreamy Genie Blue. Yes, I do. I don't know if you believe me or not, but I do like when you drop in. How are you, Jill? Comfort Zone. Okay. I had to reference our discussion the other day, Jill, because the topic of begging came back up, and it was a much larger platform, right? Which is most platforms. Most platforms here are larger than mine. So it was a much larger platform. They got to hear all these different people chime in and get their 2 cents. It don't mean that I agree with all of them, but it was during that time where I was like, yeah, like me and Jill already had the discussion. I already know her thoughts and her views and what she feels on that. Let's get it. How are you, Choreo Level? Okay. And Miss Paulette, how are you? It's good to see you. And Ghetto Intellect, Lord have mercy. Have mercy now. Hey, how you doing? Trolling Molly, how are you? Okay, that looks like everybody. Let me see. You referenced this earlier. Did I? Oh no, not in this video, not in this here video. I think it was in Treasure Lane, so it was in James' chat. But I was like, oh yeah, like me and Jill already had this discussion here. And somebody hit me up and said, what did they? Oh, and they said, and what is Jill's views? And I was like, she pretty much think it's baggy, and she ain't with the shits. So let's get it. I thought you told Kimmy you were leaving for. Oh Lord, have mercy now. Okay, it's a little conversation. It didn't elevate to banter yet, but it was just a little question. Okay, and that was for you, Ghetto. Let's see. Some of these folks like to exaggerate others' right in actions while minimizing their own. Right, and so yeah, like, and it really wasn't designed to hurt. I actually do care about Slappy, you know, but like it's like, yo, like, why did you call it an attack? Like, especially without pinpointing it. Like, you got work to do. You don't have to pinpoint this attack I made on you. I don't like that type of shit. That's it, and that's all. Also, a dude girl by the name of Kenny G, thought he was gonna come after me. That shit don't work. Landed in my comments. Was doing this real sassy talk. Dude, I'm not trying to see how high your estrogen levels are. You're not on my level. You too feminine to win. That I'm gonna tell you. You know what I mean? So take the wrong peen out your mouth. Yeah, and like he's moving on a false premise and misinformation. And yes, he did co-sign with no pen. So about, yeah, that was shady AF, which means as fuck. What was shady? What ill intention did I have in sharing that with Slappy? And how was that backhanded? How was it betrayal? And how was it behind Slappy's back when it was from my mouth to Slappy's ears? So obviously it's something that I thought and would feel comfortable telling Slappy. Like if Slappy was on the live with me, like, and that came up, you know, like, and I felt like, okay, now is the time I can share this, I would have said the same thing. And that's the part that I'm confused about. That's what I would have said the same thing. Like, yeah, like now that is a discussion, and now that the topic was brought up, like, yeah, I don't think that's good optics. But if you think it's holy or righteous optics, go on. Because I never once attempted, and I actually made a disclaimer that I'm sure you didn't miss about how I would never take the position of telling people who to associate with. So that never happened. So I shouldn't have never even heard that all throughout your life, because that shit was generously peppered all throughout your life. And I'm like, wait a minute, when did that happen? Also, like the shit like, oh, I supported him. No, well, true. But a more truthful statement, because you kind of left what I do for you all, but a more truthful statement is that me and you have a relationship of supporting each other. You know, and then the whole thing, like, I've done nothing but respect. Yeah, guess what? Y'all has shown now that we listen to what it was that I stated. Y'all has did nothing but respect you. I have yet to disrespect you. So where are you going? Like, where is your end game? You know, I'm surprised you didn't reach out. You know, I'm not saying you had to, but like, I'm surprised you didn't. Like, you had like off of here, you had more than one way to contact me. I just didn't know. It's just the whole thing that I didn't know was a problem for you until watching your live. And nobody sent me to you too. You know, from time to time, someone may say, "Hey, you might want to check this video out." You may check, but no, that's just from me being a fan. Like, again, and watching you and supporting you, and I saw it. And when you started off and you said ungrateful people, so you called me ungrateful. I've yet to call you a name slapper. But yeah, like, that's an ad hominem attack. Like, if not a circumstantial ad hominem attack, it's still personal. It's still a personal shot. I didn't do that with you. Like, and me acknowledging that from my view, I see this bad optics. I shouldn't have to move away from that. Dealing with child abuse, I shouldn't have to, and nobody's gonna make me. You know, and the whole shade thing and me attacking, you need to reconsider or just find the footage, like, because I played what I said. Let me play on just to make sure that I was done there. So I'm at 29:25.
But I mean, it's all good because you know how people are going to end this. Everybody like who they like, you know. So that's what I'm recognizing and moving on, and that's why I would never say the first part. It's kind of like,
and I said that's why I would never come to. I said say the first part. That was my way of saying that's why I would never come to agree with the first part of Bubbles' comment, which was saying what people should do in terms of their associations. Clearly, I rejected that. Clearly.
bold. Let's see.
And I even called Bubbles out. I was like, that was pretty bold. Like,
so that's what I'm recognizing.
Like, to even come to this sector or anywhere, like telling people about what they should do with their, so that's bold as fuck.
And moving on, and that's why I would never say the first part. It's kind of like bold. Let's say Miss Paulette with child. It's a double standard, and I think it'll up.
Okay, and so yeah, I was done. Then I began reading Miss Paulette's comments about double standards. So I left it. You know, it was a comment. That's how the live was structured. It was structured me engaging from people's comments in the chat, and that was it. So you learned how I feel like about that optic. Okay, still, where is the shade and where was the attack? Like, that's bold, especially with no like attempt. Like, you didn't even attempt to offer like any evidence or proof of this shit. Like, where is it at? Like, I know I didn't like have a mental lapse and did some attacking shit and just forgot about it. So somebody has more work to do to support their claims, not my claims, but to support their claims. I mean, because I was the one that brought the audio. Like, what else? Like, it's like you want ill intentions, but you can't support it. Like, I didn't say that to you with ill will. Trust me, if I did, it probably would have been followed with a personal judgment, which I refrained from doing. Yeah, like, I know how to communicate. So there was no disrespect. I didn't say you had to like it. There's no disrespect. I think you're learning my views on, like, it was a discussion we never had. They come up. Let's see. Yeah, it was nothing sinister. So that's what I'm pushing back against. Like, oh, like, can you believe it? Like, and he thought I wasn't going to catch on. Like, when did I say anything that could be remotely compared to being subliminal? There was none. No innuendos. Everything was just like straight to the point, blunt. So I don't get that. I don't get it. I don't. Let's see. How are you? Thanks for joining us. I hope I don't leave anybody out. But how are you? Chocolate Cocoa 85. I don't really see you over here, but I like speaking to you when I do. Let's see. Like I did, yeah. I didn't know that you would take it like I was taking shots, like at you. Let's see. Chicken wings. Hey, y'all, man in chat. How are you, chicken wings? But yeah, I'm off of here. Hey, how you doing, wifey? If I didn't say so, right? But yeah, that's it. Yeah, and the allergies are still tearing me up, but you know it's nighttime now, so my symptoms are alleviated. Let's say that. All right, just for the good times. All right, let's check out the horns. Let's check out the horns, you guys. The horn section. Okay, that was my trombone there. That's good. Let's see. Okay, that looks like everything. I probably left somebody out. I'll be doing asshole shit like that. Yeah, charge it to my head, not my heart. But thank you guys for dropping in. And that's it. So, I mean, the proof is in the pudding. I don't think anything will be stronger than the audio itself. So, like, just end that. Like, you got to find the parts where, like, where shade was shown. Okay? And an attack. Just because I gave my view on that. Like, when it comes to that, if you have a view on that, right, if you have a perspective on that, when it comes to that, it's 50-50. You're either going to end up on the side where you think it's okay or righteous or holy. You insert whatever good term you want, and then it's going to be the other side where you're going to think it's bad at optics and not cool, and insert whatever like negative term on that side. I fall on the negative side. I think it's bad optics. You know, so yeah, the most somebody can do is like sue me because of my stance on that. Okay, on what side that I fall on that. Yeah, like, nothing's good about that. Let's see. Okay, so that's it. I'm looking at chicken wings saying hello and socializing. He said Miss Molly. I ain't saying shit. Aha. Well, let's get it. Miss Molly, okay. Put Miss Thing Molly, okay. Do that, please.
AJ. All I gotta do is put my mind to this shit. To this shit, 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 to this shit.